everyone, it's Kristen with Enlight Physical Therapy. Within this video, we're gonna go over 8 poses that are great to know if you're looking to start a yoga practice. These are some of the most common used, and so let's get started. Okay, so the first pose that we're going to talk about today in this video is one that I'm sure you've either seen or at least heard of. It's called downward facing dog. It's also, the Sanskrit name is Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna start on your hands and knees. You're gonna take your hands, move them forward just a little bit in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath of you so that you're on the balls of your feet. Press the hips straight up towards the ceiling and stretch back. So you wanna focus on a flat back. If you have tight hamstrings, most likely you're not gonna be able to get your legs straight, and that's okay. I'd rather you focus on that flat back, sticking your tailbone, your hips up towards the ceiling, and pressing your heels down towards the floor. Like I said, if you have those tight hamstrings, bent knees are okay as long as we're focusing on that flat back. And as you loosen up those hamstrings, you'll be able to straighten those legs and press those heels down closer towards the floor. All right, and you're gonna hold this position generally in most yoga classes for about 3 to 5 breaths. Nice and gentle. The second pose is mountain pose or Tadasana. Now, normally you would do this pose at the top of the mat, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do it facing the camera for obvious reasons. Okay, so you're gonna start with your feet. They can either be touching with the outsides of your feet parallel or to each other, or your feet can be hip width apart. So it kind of depends on your balance. If you have good balance, then feet together. If you're a little bit more wobbly, then feet a little bit further apart. Okay? You want your tailbone tucked underneath so that it's down kind of facing towards the floor and you're in a neutral spine. Your hands can be in 3 positions. They can be up, okay? They can be hands to the heart, okay? Or down by the side. All right, now usually your instructor will guide you into which one of those to do. All right, this is normally, mountain pose is usually you can start a vinyasa and generally you finish a vinyasa in mountain pose. So it's very frequently used and is a great one for you to know. All right, number 3 is another one that I'm sure you've heard before. It's Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. All right, so you're gonna start with your feet wide. All right. Okay, so feet are wide, hands are straight out. Now, the width of your legs, you almost want to think the front ankle under the first wrist, under your front wrist, and then your back ankle under your back wrist. You want to bend that front knee so that your knee is over your ankle and it's out over about the second toe. So this front foot is facing towards the front of the mat. Your back foot is at about a 45-degree angle and is kind of towards the front, this corner of your mat. Arms are straight out in front and your gaze is over your middle finger. Okay, keep bending that knee so that your knee is over your front ankle and your back leg is straight. Your legs are firm, shoulders are down away from the ears. Belly button pulled to the spine. Always, always have that core engaged. Next one is triangle pose or Trikonasana, okay? So your feet are gonna be in the same position that they were in for warrior. Front foot turned all the way out towards the front of the mat. Back foot now is still at that 45-degree angle, okay? Now the difference is your feet are a little bit closer than in warrior. If they are out that far, the stability is greatly diminished. So you want this front leg, you don't want to keep it locked. You want to have a slight bend. Arms out to the side. Again, right now you're still looking over that second finger. You're going to hinge forward at the waist. Hinge forward, reach, 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 reach as far as you can. When you can't reach any further, you're going to dip down. This front hand is coming down towards the floor. Back hand is coming up towards the ceiling. You're gonna rotate your trunk, almost like you're trying to point your chest up towards the ceiling, though you're not actually gonna get there. So now my chest is pointed towards this way, almost like I'm taking my bottom ribs and I'm turning them that direction. Top arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Now, if you're comfortable, you can turn your neck so that you're looking at that top hand. that bothers your neck, then keep looking forward or look down, whatever's more comfortable. This bottom hand can rest right here on your shin. It can hold your shin. It can touch the floor if you feel comfortable, or you can take a block and rest your hand on the block. Number 5 is plank pose. So you're gonna start on your hands and your knees. Okay, so first things first, hands come forward just a little bit, and you're gonna stretch your legs out behind you. You're gonna be on the balls of your feet. Biggest thing, pull that belly button towards your spine, engaging your core. Everything is strong, and you want your body to be in a straight line. You don't want your hips to drop, and you don't want them to be too far up either. And reach back with your heels, pushing through the shoulders like you're trying to push the floor away from you, tucking your belly button towards your spine. Don't crank your neck up. You're looking slightly forward. Everything in a straight line. Everything engaged. The next frequently used pose that we're going to focus on is Chaturanga Dandasana. So this one, you start out in plank pose. So let's get into our plank pose. Wrists under our shoulders, stretching those feet out behind us. Okay, and body in that straight line, belly button pulled into the spine, engaging that core. You're going to rock forward onto the balls of your feet, so your shoulders are slightly in front of your hands, bending those elbows down until they're at about 90 degrees. Don't let your shoulders drop below your elbows, okay? So for that one, to make it slightly easier, you can also do it on your knees. So let's get back into our plank position. Legs stretched out behind us, body in a straight line, dropping the knees, okay? And again, rock forward slightly, bending those elbows, stop at 90 degrees, okay? So that's 2 ways that you can do Chaturanga, slightly easier and a little bit more advanced. Number 7 on our list of common yoga poses is upward dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Again, a mouthful. This one, so usually we get to up dog during our vinyasa flow. Okay, so you do plank, you go down into Chaturanga, and then you push up into upward dog. So let's go through that flow. So we're gonna start in plank, rocking forward slightly, dropping down to Chaturanga, and then pressing up. So you flip your feet over onto the top of your feet, pressing the chest upward, looking up slightly. Keep your knees and hips and thighs up off of the floor. And you're pressing through those arms, pressing your shoulders down away from your ears, looking up slightly, firming those legs. And breathe. And relax. There we go, normally holding that one for just about 1 to 2 breaths. All right, and last one on our list is forward fold, a delicious stretch, that low back and those hamstrings. So facing forward, arms reaching up by our ears, back flat, almost like you're trying to stick that tailbone out behind you. You're gonna try to bring your belly button to your thighs, okay? Keep the back flat, reaching forward. You can grab your feet if you can't reach your feet. Your shins are perfectly fine. Don't force yourself into any pose. And if your knees are a little bent, that's okay. Don't force anything that your body feels isn't right for you. Okay, so back flat, reaching forward, trying to bring that belly button towards your thighs. Relax the head and breathe into it, about 3 to 5 breaths. Good, deep stretch. And release it. And there you have it, our 8 commonly used yoga poses that are wonderful if you plan on trying to start a yoga practice, which I highly recommend that you should. I don't know about you guys, with all the craziness right now, my yoga practice is the only thing that's keeping me somewhat sane. And as a physical therapist, I highly recommend yoga as well. The two go hand in hand. They are amazing together. Lengthening, strengthening, soft tissue work, mobilization. It's a physical therapist's dream. If you want some more information on the yoga postures, The link to the blog is in the description for the video, so please check it out. And also, while you're at it, check out my website, enlightphysicaltherapy.com. I have lots more blogs and some really good information on there. And if you're in the Orlando area, I would love to speak with you about either yoga classes, or if you have any pains or issues, please reach out. I would be happy to help you, even if it's just to give you a little bit more information. So I really hope you found this video beneficial, and we'll see you next time.